All right. Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great week. And Happy New Year to all of you that I haven't wished a Happy New Year to yet. So I got 4 monster trades that I think will shake up the MLB offseason. Before I do that, I have a couple announcements. Number one, I mentioned earlier that Yoendris Gomez yesterday got his 4th option from the Yankees from 2 other players now. Luis Hill and Oswald Peraza have also received their 4th options. So that is really, really fantastic news. It really, really is. So, and it makes it more, it makes their increases their ability to use them more regularly, use them more, more flexibly, but also increases their trade value as well. Essentially, like a guy like Peraza, his trade value is about 15. It probably bumps him up to about 25, something like that on MLB trade value. So with these extra options, it's a really, really good thing to have. So, by the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see what we got here. We got the whole crew here. What do we got here? Almaraz in the house. Oh, let's go to the top here. I want to make sure I'm giving love to everybody. Shout out Sean Brown, Strike Zone, my man. And if he's in the house, man, Mikey Mazza, 4 Train Express is in the place. JJ's in the house. CWE's in the house. We got everybody here. What else we got here? Hayden. Who else we got here? Daniel's in the house. Diver JC's in the house. Yes, Aiden's in the house. Yes, indeed. Lorenzo's in the house. Daniel Mendez is in the house. Aiden. Mike Consigliere's in the house. Yes, the Emperor, the Prime Minister of Texas. That's right. Yes, indeed. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you all coming on. And again, happy Saturday to all of you. And I want to know what your thoughts on this trade. And here's another announcement, too. For those that have been asking for merch, I've had a lot of people have been asking for a while. Well, it's going live in about a week, or so, maybe a little more than a week. I have a domain now, 61riverave.com. I'm customizing the website, so you'll have all the stuff up and running. We're going to start with T-shirts. If there's anything else that anybody wants, let me know. Skull caps, fitteds. We're going to do fitteds with skull caps. Hoodies we're going to get to soon. And anything else that anybody can think of, let me know. And we'll see if we can put it out. And again, it's going to be good quality items. It's not going to be like cheap polyester or cheap cotton or anything like that. So you will see good quality items. And the first 25 orders we get, we're gonna cover the shipping. So we're gonna cover that as well. So as a way of saying thank you as well. So again, it's 161riverave.com. The website will be up and running shortly, and the merch will be live in about a week, gang. Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. What do we got about how many tour? Crazy Spencer Jones grades out of 50, and now he grades out of an 80, actually. 50 might be out of position, Eric. Grades out of an 80. So, not crazy. But you're entitled to your opinion. And again, there's a reason why he's more highly touted than Jason Dominguez. There's a reason why he's the number 1 prospect on the team. So, but shout out to everybody here. Let's get to those 200 likes. We got almost 200 people in here already. Just everybody hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind, okay? And I want to get to these trades, and I want to know what your thoughts are. I have a special guest. We got Mikey Mazza from the 4 Train Express joining.
How's it going?
As well. What's happening, my man?
Not too much.
Here we go. And let's see. I want to make sure I have everybody here too. I want to make sure I give a shout out to everybody, Sports Guru, Nicholas, Peter. Thanks so much for everybody coming on. And we appreciate you all. Yeah, and DJ Jason 4 Train. Strike NFE. We know, man. We know. I know somebody's dreams were crushed yesterday because Robbie Ray was traded to the Giants. Our condolences. But let me know what you think of these trades, gang. We're gonna go over these, okay? Trade number 1, okay, is between the Baltimore Orioles and the Atlanta Braves. Okay. Now, look who that guy is right there in the picture. Who's that? Jesus Luzardo. There's a lot of talk about Jesus Luzardo and potentially trades. The
You mean
Baltimore Orioles have
Miami?
excuse me, to Miami. Excuse me. That's right. My apologies. There's a lot of talk about Jesus Luzardo going to teams, right? And there's even talks about Yankees having to give up Spencer Jones and so many more of their guys. Well, Baltimore
Not
Orioles
doing
have
that.
they got the number one farm in baseball. Okay, Luzardo's got one game. He's a 25-year-old dynamic left-handed pitcher. Had a good year, but this is the trade that I think would shake things up. And again, Baltimore needs a starting pitcher. They need this high-end starting pitcher, no doubt about it. Okay, and if they're gonna pay a ransom, you pay it for somebody like Luzardo instead of a Dylan Cease. So in this one, you get Colton Cowser, their number 2 prospect is an outfielder. Miami. Miami needs position players. They need bats, right? Samuel Basallo, catcher / first baseman, their number 5 prospect. Connor Nerby, number 7 prospect, a second baseman and an outfielder. And Cade Povich, a left-handed pitcher to replace, to some degree, who's a number 11 prospect to replace Jesus Luzardo, okay, who would be heading to Baltimore in this trade. Okay, so again,
Interesting.
Miami would get 4 prospects. 3 of them are going to be in the top 10. And again, you're getting them from the number 1 farm in baseball. So it's a high-end package. And Luzardo would be going to the Baltimore Orioles, be in the American League East, okay? And a good pitcher going to a good team. Let me know what your thoughts are on that trade. Before I get to the next trade, I'll give you all a minute if you have any comments, feedback. Before we get to I have 3 more trades for you. And I can think these trades one of them is the Yankees trade. One of them is the Yankees trade. You're not going to do trades without including our Yankees, right?
Of course not.
Exactly, man.
So,
all right. Some people want baseball hats. All right.
I don't know. For that one, I think that's a little bit of an overpay giving up Colton Cowser.
Well, it's not Jackson Holiday.
No, I agree. It's not Jackson Holiday. I'm not saying that. If it were me, I might give up Kobe Mayo before I give up Colton Cowser. Just me.
It might be. I would give up, but I have a feeling. Go ahead.
I would do Mayo and then Bradfield Jr., but I wouldn't give up Colton Cowser. He's, from everything that, like highlight wise that I've seen, as a stud, and he's going to be very good for that outfield if they keep him.
If they keep him. That's why I'm saying, like, if they move him, this is the type of guy that they have to move him for. Like, they're not going to just move him for some slapdick pitcher.
No, again, of course not.
An outfield prospect, so he is a legitimate prospect. There's no doubt about that. So Mike is 100% right on that. So, but that's trade number 1. Hey, Jonathan, what's happened, dude? Jake Boss is here. Alaska's in the house. Sivia. Yeah, I'm telling you. Is it dark there right now, or is it light there for an extended period of time, Sivia? What's the status in Alaska right now? Huh? If Gio Urshela is back, guarantee someone is getting traded. Possibly, but I don't. There's not a fit for him.
We don't need him.
They don't need him. I don't think they're going to move somebody just to make room for Gio.
We need pitching. We need to stop with this Gio Urshela stuff. I liked him when he was here. I wish we didn't get rid of him for Donaldson, but at the end of the day, he's gone, and it's just we cannot worry about bringing back Gio Urshela. We need to worry about getting 2 starters if possible, and if we can get 1 good starter with a good bullpen piece, I would be happy with that too.
Yes, indeed. That's indeed. Miguel Desmond. Hope your Mets don't go after. I got a trade on here for you too. I think that's going to be the next trade, actually. So stay tuned, Miguel. Stay tuned. I wasn't going to ignore the Mets either. But expect some big names to be moved, okay? Probably to teams that we don't expect them to be moved to. Like, I think, Baltimore needs a starting pitcher, right?
Yep.
And this type of trade would shake things up in baseball. It would definitely shake things up because they would be giving a lot to the Marlins, and the Marlins would be giving a high-end pitcher back to the Baltimore Orioles. So, and that means Dylan Cease will go elsewhere. So it would be an interesting trade. Now, you guys ready for trade 2? Let's get to trade 2. Trade 2 is between the Seattle Mariners and the New York Mets. And look who that is.
Interesting. Luis Castillo.
So in this particular trade, the Mets need a pitcher, right? Luis Castillo would be heading to the Mets in exchange for Jet Williams, Their number 3 prospect, the shortstop, and outfielder shortstop. He's blocked by what do you call it? What the hell's his name? Their shortstop. Oh my God.
Lindor.
Lindor. There you go. Marcus Vargas, another infield prospect too, number 8, and Blade Tidwell, their right-handed pitcher, number 10. Okay, the Seattle Mariners would be trading away an expensive starting pitcher, which would enable them to keep their cheaper starting pitchers.
Yeah.
So, and
that's
they would get
a
good batch of prospects back, offensive prospects, one right-handed bat to go with the 2 offensive. And again, the Mariners need cheap offensive players, right? Well, this is an opportunity to get them. And
I mean, it's a good trade for both sides because you're getting a good young infielder, you're getting a good young shortstop outfielder, and you're also getting a right-handed pitcher in replacement. Yep. So it's a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the Mets. I can't see the Mets getting like Snell or any of these other guys. All right.
No.
And speaking of Snell, by the way, one more little bit of news that we were talking about in the group chat earlier, that the reporting is now that Hal Steinbrenner is given the green light to add a significant member of the rotation. So, which essentially means he's given him the green light to go over the Cohen threshold. So,
that doesn't mean they're going to, though.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean they're going to. And again, I would like to see Jack Kerry report on this, or Ken Rosenthal or Jeff Passan report on this, not just random reporting. So, but it's a sign of encouragement, at least in my opinion, and I'm encouraged by that. But again, they need to back it up. It doesn't mean go make a stupid overpay, but
no.
Let's just go over the list of guys, right? Snell puts him over to Cohen. Montgomery puts him over to Cohen.
Yep.
Shane Bieber puts him barely over the Cohen. They can offset that by trading a reliever.
Dylan Cease puts him over.
Dylan Cease puts him over too. So now if you move to Marlins pitchers and Mariners pitchers that are on the cheap, it doesn't put them over. So we've been constantly pivoting back to the Marlins and the Mariners, right? So
it just makes too much sense.
Yes. And in terms of making sense, here's trade number 3, and this is the Yankees trade. This is between the Yankees and the San Francisco Giants. Okay? Who's that guy right there? No, 22-year-old pitcher Kyle Harrison. In this trade, the Yankees would receive Kyle Harrison, left-handed starting pitcher, and 24-year-old relief pitcher Eric Miller, who's got 5 controllable years. They would get their starter and their reliever from the Giants. In exchange, Everson Pereira, right? Their number 3 prospect and outfielder, Brent Vortvet, catcher Oswaldo Cabrera, versatile infield outfielder, and Yoendris Gomez, pitcher in return. Okay, he just received his 4th option, which gives him more value in a trade, and maybe this will give the Yankees an opportunity to get a starter and a reliever. Okay, and maybe people haven't heard of Eric Miller, left-handed relief pitcher. He's a guy worth looking into. Okay. And again, under Matt Blake's tutelage, he might have something good to work with here. So just something to think about. Right? And this is where the Yankees can get a starter and a reliever. The Marlins represent a good trade fit. The Mariners represent a good trade fit. And maybe the Giants do now too.
Maybe.
So, and
even though I still think they get Matt Chapman.
The Giants, I think, would get Matt Chapman, yeah. Which would put, they also need a shortstop because Brandon Crawford's likely not coming back.
Yeah, that's true too.
Oswaldo Cabrera could play shortstop. You could swap him out as well. So it gives them some versatility. You give them a couple offensive pieces. You get a catcher too. They wanted to add some catching depth. This gives them catching depth. Want to add an arm? We can replace one of their arms with another arm. So that's trades. Yeah, these are proposed trades, CeeLo. Yes. He just trades that would be shake things up in the offseason. So that's all. And trades to think about, because all we're hearing is the same stuff. We're hearing the same Dylan Cease trades. We're hearing the same, type of stuff like that, where most of the folks want us to give up Spencer Jones, mind you. We've talked about this earlier. We haven't given up Spencer Jones for Juan Soto. We haven't given up Jason Dominguez for Juan Soto, so why would we move either one of them for Dylan Cease?
I'm not doing it.
Doesn't make any sense. Can we get a trade for Crochet? Yeah, we talked about that too, Mel. I mean, obviously, just Crochet. I mean, if you want to get just, I mean, I would go for Crochet overseas personally if I could do that, right?
I think
Mello?
we all would, or at least I
Yeah, I
would.
mean, what would you give up for Crochet, Mike? I mean, they want
So
bats. So,
if I was going to go after Crochet, I would give
mhm,
up. Well, first I would give up Pereira because we don't have room for him. He's blocked by Jones, Dominguez, Verdugo, Soto. He's blocked by all of them. So Pereira would definitely be one of them. I would even give up a Kiner Delgado,
infield prospect.
who's our number 24 prospect, and even an Edgar Barclay, a left-handed pitcher who's our 27 prospect.
Would that be enough for Crochet, you think?
I mean, if it's just Crochet alone, I think that would be enough to get it done because they're getting a young, controllable outfielder because their outfield is shit. Then you're getting a second baseman, shortstop to replace Tim Anderson
True.
and Kiner Delgado, and then you're also getting a left-handed pitcher who is going to be ready, who's supposed to be ready this year, who they could probably slide into that bullpen or the rotation.
And for those who don't know, folks, I mean, Guerrero Crochet's he's 24 years old. He's got 3 years of control. It's a big power lefty reliever. He's just the type of guy we would love to get in the bullpen. So,
Or if you really had to throw in another piece, what you could do is you could actually substitute Barclay for Danny Watson, who's a 23-year-old, 6'7", 235-pound right-handed pitcher, and you could even throw in Yoendrys Gomez into that if you had to throw in another piece. But
fair
that's
enough.
only if you had to.
What do you think of that Crochet trade, guys? What do you think about that? I mean, again, Garrett Crochet is a reliever that's not being talked about, right? He would cost a hell of a lot than Clase would, hell of a lot less than Clase. So,
Yeah.
It's not going to be as easy as you think, Aiden, trading for Clase. So, by the way, hit them likes again. Let's try to get to 200 likes. We got 117. We got almost 250 people in here. So, we thank you for that. But trading for Clase is going to cost the farm.
Yeah. I do have a trade that would work that we wouldn't have to give up any pitching with the Mariners, and I discussed this with you earlier. It would be to get a starting pitcher, of course. It would be to get George Kirby. So in order to do that, you would have to trade Gleyber Torres, Everson Pereira, who's our number 3 prospect, and then outfield John Cruz. But we would also have to eat Torres' contract in order for Seattle to not feel the financial burden because they're having financial issues, and we would get our right-handed starting pitcher. He's 25 with 5 or 6 years of control.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, even if he ate Torres' contract, the Yankees are at $287 million right now. That doesn't change. The $287 million factors in the projected arbitration figures that are going to be dropped this Friday. So the Yankees will know much more. They'll have a better idea of how much wiggle room they have, how much flexibility they have in terms of money after Friday. So I would expect that, don't be surprised if they make a trade on Saturday. Once these arbitration figures are laid out and they rejected or accepted and so on. So I would expect a little bit more action but don't be surprised if they make a trade before Friday. Because at this point now, not knowing with the money situation, like this is where a trade I might just propose for a guy like George Kirby, who's cheap with controllable years, makes more sense. They can make a trade like this and not really have any effect on the payroll, even if they ate Torres' contract. So, and again, if you eat Torres' contract, they're only eating it for this year. So he's a free agent after next year.
So you're really not losing anything.
No, they save $15 million next year. So, but let us think about that. We don't trade Gleyber. I'm saying we don't trade Gleyber Torres or Cabrera. We don't know, Gary. We'll see. They might. Don't know. I mean, if they kept Torres, I'd be fine with it. But if they moved him, They're not going to extend them. Let's just be open about that now. They have so much infield prospect depth, they're not going to extend them. So they got to do something, right? So they're either going to let him play, and he walks in free agency with a QO, or trade him. Those are the only two options they have. So Tyler Talbot, thank you so much for the super chat too. What do you got here? Get Cease, Moncada, Pereira, Peraza back, Warren, and Beater.
I don't know if I'd do that.
I don't think there's any room for Moncada. Where would you play him? Where would you play him?
I wouldn't do that.
Where would you play him is the question. Chris the Flash, welcome to the 161, man. Welcome to the family, brother. Welcome to the family. But again, back to Tyler Talbot's point here. Let's pull this back up. It's taking forever to come up here. Get up on there. Cease, Moncada, Pereira, Peraza, Beck. That Beck way?
No, Brendan Beck.
Oh, Brendan Beck. Okay.
Brendan Beck.
Warren and Beater. There's no way I would give up Warren and Beater for Cease.
Not a chance. Warren is coming out of that deal.
Yeah,
Warren has too high of a ceiling, and he's going to be
better than Cease.
He's going to be much better than. He's not going to be much better. I shouldn't say that, but he will be better than what Cease has been giving. I mean, granted, Cease is also on a shitty team, so that doesn't exactly help him.
And Moncada is a third baseman, right? But they would have to trade DJ in that situation, and I can't see them doing that.
Yeah,
and that's the other part. And Eric, thank you so much for the super chat too. Appreciate that. What do we got here? Let's put you up. Can you respond to my second? Did you send the first super chat? My apologies if I missed. This thing is scrolling really fast now. If I missed the first one, my apologies. I got tell me to scroll back and make sure that I didn't miss it. They're not moving Grisham or Verdugo to free up money. They're not doing that. Why
that's not happening.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't see that happening at all. I also don't see I don't see us getting Hader, and a lot of people before and we're saying let's get Hader, Hader's not going to be a good fit here. He's going to get eaten alive by the New York media. He's going to get eaten alive by the New York fans. It's not a good fit.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. I mean, it's just he's going to cost a lot of money too.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no doubting his ability.
This is not to take away from what his ability to pitch at all. I'm not saying that he can't, but I wouldn't personally sign him because of the fact that one, he already had an issue in San Diego with his manager. Two, he doesn't seem like he would be a fit here because of his attitude towards that. So,
I would agree. I don't think he's a fit. Eric, I'm not seeing your. Sorry, I'm not seeing your other super chat. My apologies. This thing is also delaying its movements. But what if you had a question or comment, put it out here right now, and I'll be more than happy to answer. My apologies for missing it. For some reason, I'm not being.
What was the fourth trade that you had?
All right, let's get into the fourth trade, gang. This one here, and you'll let me know what you think about this one. This is between the. Come on, make it on the screen already. Oh my God! See, this is what I'm talking about. These things are working extremely slowly here for some reason. This is between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. Okay.
Interesting.
Phillies and the Red Sox. All right. And in this particular trade, let me get Eric's thing off the screen here. That way it's not blocking the trade itself. It's taking forever. Get back. Hang on one second, gang. My apologies. It's working pretty slow tonight. I'll actually get this up right now. Between the Phillies and now, there are a couple of players that have been talked about, right, recently.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Sox are they're listening to offers on, right?
Yep.
And that's who is that? Do we know?
Those Kenley Jansen.
Kenley Jensen and Masataka Yoshida, right? So, in the spirit of that, now I can go. This particular trade, the Boston Red Sox would receive, come up on the screen, please, Justin Crawford, number 3 prospect in the outfield, William Bengolia, number 10 prospect shortstop, and that should have been 11, my apologies. Alex McFarland, the right-handed pitcher, number 11 prospect. In exchange, Masataka Yoshida, an outfielder that the Phillies need. They've already put Nick Castellanos on the trading block. They could also move Marsh over. Masataka Yoshida would represent the leadoff hitter that the Phillies need, and Kenley Jansen would represent the closer that they need.
Interesting.
Craig Kimbrell is no longer there.
Yep.
Boston would get 3 top 11 prospects, and Boston would also get salary relief in order so they could pursue somebody like Jordan Montgomery and even Teoscar Hernandez. They could pursue these guys now. So, because they're looking to clear up payroll to pursue some more guys, right? Well, this would enable them to do that. So, you guys, let me know what you think of this one. All right, what are your thoughts on that trade? Nicholas, yeah, you like Castillo Burns more than Cease. I think a lot of us do. A lot of us do. Cease. Yeah, Cease. Now, CW just had another comment too here. Why keep him if he's not going to be a superstar? Who are you referring to, CWE? Why keep who? Who are you referring to, CWA? And again, Eric, my apologies. I'm not seeing your other super chat. So, but feel free, whatever the question is or the comment is, just put it in here. And I will be more than happy to answer it.
So I've got another one for you, Jason.
Go ahead.
All right. So this is between Miami and the Yankees. So the Yankees would receive Edward Cabrera and Andrew Nardi. The Yankees would send Everson Pereira. They would send, where are we here? Anthony Hall, Ben Rorvet, and let me see here. Hold on. Let me pull up their. Give me 1 second.
Is that enough, Talbot, Peraza, and Pereira for Edward Cabrera and Andrew Nardi? I don't know if it's enough.
It's probably not going to be enough.
You might have to add another prospect on there.
So, all right. So, Pereira. What was the name? Hall, Rortvet, and I know this is going to sound nuts, but I would also send Oswaldo Cabrera over in that deal as well.
For Nardi and Cabrera?
Yep. And I'm not trading Andrew Jones or Spencer Jones.
Yeah, and
CWE, that's not going to happen. We got to get off of that, man.
He's talking about Jones not being he's saying, why are we not, if we know, who knows he's not going to be a superstar? We don't know that yet. Okay. And he's also their number 1 rated prospect. He's rated higher than Jason Dominguez, who everybody's been drooling over for years. So he grades out higher than Dominguez, offensively and defensively. So I'm not sleeping on Spencer Jones yet. Not sleeping on him. Yeah, and Ben Rice putting up good for him. Ted Williams numbers in AAA. Ben Rice is good. He'll get a chance.
So what do you think of that, Jason? Pereira, Anthony Hall,
Cabrera,
and then Ben Rortvet, because they need a catcher as well. So they're getting 3 young, controllable bats plus Ben Rortvet.
Yeah, I would be willing to do that trade for if you can get Cabrera and Nardi. Yeah, thank you, Tyler Talbot. By the way, again for the super chat, I appreciate you, man. I would do that trade. I would do that. Um, oh, we got another trade proposal here. We got Angelo with a trade proposal. Let's put this up here.
Okay.
Yankees acquired Dylan Cease in exchange for Will Warren.
Nope. That's
Ben
an
Rice,
automatic no.
Phil Hardman. Jesus. No, you'd have to. Me personally,
No.
Angelo, I would not put Ben Rice in there or Will Warren.
I would take Warren and Rice out, and I will put in Cabrera or Torres and Pereira. I would not trade Warren or Ben Rice at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I
Other than that,
I like Tyler Hardman. Don't get me wrong; he's another third base, first baseman. He's got a good bat. I mean, but I would, he's borderline for me. But no way I would Will Warren's going to be better than Dylan Cease.
Yep.
In my opinion. So I wouldn't move Warren for him. And Ben Rice, right now, I mean, Ben Rice and Spencer Jones. I mean, if you can get them both in the lineup, then you have to. So, and Ben Rice is a good-looking player. Okay. Prospect hug, we're going to be fine. We prospect hug the right prospects, CWE. The right prospects. Just like the Braves prospect hugged Acuna. Boy, he was a prospect. They hugged Albies. He was a prospect too, right? It's the same thing. Dansby Swanson. Same thing. Yes, Warren's going to be better than CWE. Cease has had one good season. One good season. Okay. Well, let's not
take anything away from the stuff, but he just, yeah.
He's a good pitcher, but I would not give up Warren for him.
He's not worth a Will Warren, a Ben Rice, and certainly not a Spencer Jones. So they need to come back down to the planet Earth and come back to reality.
Yeah, look at this one.
Dominguez and
Torres for Ramirez. Jose Ramirez.
J-Ram. I don't think that's going to. I would do it.
I would do it in a heartbeat if you can get that. I don't think you're going to get that, but
I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to be enough.
If you can get Ramirez and Clase without Bieber, I would do it too. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, Gleyber Torres and Dominguez. But I like where your head's at, man. a favorable Yankees trade. No.
Definitely a favorable Yankees trade, but I don't think that'd be enough. I think in that you may have to give up Spencer Jones, and I'm not willing to do that for a closer and a starter. For one, who's been hurt, and two, is in a walk year. So that's
Krista Flash was wondering if we saw who you trade Spencer Jones for. Dude, put it back up. Krista Flash, put it back up if you don't mind. I want to see who you'd be willing to trade Spencer Jones for. I don't think he's going to get traded, but I want to know who you're willing to trade him for. Sign Snell this year, Corbin Burns next year. I don't think they would do both, to be honest with you. I think they would probably be willing to trade for Corbin Burns before signing Snell. I think so, but you never know. You never know. And we're not worrying about this right now, CWE. Because to that degree, Ben Rice better be a Hall of Famer too. So since you're comparing him to Ted Williams. So Perez, Nardi, hold on. Perez, Nardi, and another pitcher for them. Who's Perez? Krista Flash.
Yuri Perez.
Oh, Yuri Perez. Okay. Andrew Nardi and another pitcher. It's got to be another starting pitcher. I mean, I talked about this earlier too. I wouldn't give up Spencer Jones unless I'm getting two controllable starting pitchers in return. Like it would have to be Cabrera and Yuri Perez for me to even. That's probably the only situation, and I don't know if Mike agrees with me. It's the only situation I would move Spencer Jones for.
I am not giving up Spencer Jones for a reliever and a starter. If I'm giving up Spencer Jones with the Marlins, it is Perez and Garrett, or Perez and Cabrera. Nothing less than that. If you want to add someone else into it, fine. But I'm not taking anything less than that. Garrett and Perez, or Perez and Cabrera.
Who keeps putting out that Roki Sasaki will be posted next year? I don't know. We're not putting it out. He's going to ask to be posted. And I've said this too. There's this clause in his contract, but the clause in his contract allows him to ask to be posted early. Does not require the team to post him early. That's a huge difference. So, because if it did, they would have posted him early when he asked him last month. And again, he's still eligible when he's 25. And the reason why they would likely would wait until he's 25 so they can get the posting fee for him.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Why would they?
Yeah.
Why would they miss out on tens of millions of dollars in the posting fee and post him early when they can wait to get that posting fee?
Yeah, exactly. And this is not to say Roki Sasaki's not good. He's an exciting young player. It looks like, and again, he's got a big arm, but
he just came off of oblique surgery as well.
Oblique surgery, yeah. So, no, I wouldn't say he's going to the Dodgers. I wouldn't just guarantee he's going to the Dodgers.
Just because Yamamoto went to the Dodgers doesn't mean every Japanese player is going to the Dodgers. Let's put that one to bed now because we don't need that's ridiculous to think that.
And Lewis, I would not trade Spencer Jones in a package for Luis Castillo.
No,
I wouldn't do it.
Not a chance.
He was 31. He's starting a 5-year extension at $23 million per year. So, and yeah, Mike, Corbin Burns is likely going to be a 1-year rental. Yeah. So, unless Roki Sasaki compensates, he's not going to compensate the team in Japan. And again, JJ, this is the other thing too. If he gets posted early, he's not 25 yet, so he's subject to the amateur money. So he can only make about $5 million. And he'd have those 6 years, the 3 pre-arb years and the 3 arb years that Shohei Ohtani had. He'd be on the cheap for the next 6 years before he can cash in and make a boatload of money. So, and that's the difference, between essentially the amateur posting fee or waiting until you're 25, which makes you eligible to post for an MLB contract, which is sky's the limit. That's what Yamamoto did. Waited until he's 25. So, I mean, I don't see the point in talking about Roki Sasaki until he's posted. So, who do I see the Yankees hating wants to know Snell? I mean, look, Snell has got probably got the higher ceiling. But Montgomery's probably a more reliable innings eater. So, why do these things keep coming up? They keep disappearing on me. Snell or Monty. Snell, again, he's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Can't take that away from him, right? But, unless they have a plan for long relief, I would choose someone else before Snell. So that's just me. He's good, but we need to be stable in the long relief too for a guy like Snell. And that's just my opinion, gang. You guys let me know what you think. If you disagree, that's fine too. So, well, JJ and the Giancarlo Stanton problem's got to be seen. I mean, yeah, at some point it does. I mean, like people were asking yesterday and in the last couple of days, well, if the Mariners can trade Robbie Ray, why can't the Yankees trade Stanton? Huge difference. I was talking about this earlier with Mike and the guys. Robbie Ray had a no-trade clause, which expired.
For 2 years.
For 2 years only. His no-trade clause just expired, so they could move him. Giancarlo Stanton has a full no-trade clause for the entire duration of his contract. Okay? So they can't trade him without his blessing. Whereas Robbie Ray, as soon as his no-trade expired, they moved him to the Giants, and he couldn't do anything about it. Stanton can veto any trade. And he's a 10-5 player. So
that makes it even harder.
Yeah, he can veto any trade. And here you go, Eric. So I thank you again for the super chat. It was Jones 75 on the top 100. Is everyone above him in 80? You mean 75 ranked on the top 100? If Jones is 75 on the top 100,
Spencer Jones is ranked He's ranked 75th out of the top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball.
Does that mean everybody above him? No, it doesn't mean that. No. I mean, there's different rating scales. And again, like, depends on the ceiling. Like, you can have guys like, I'll give you an example. What's the kid, Jackson Holiday? He was just drafted last year. Was he in single A now?
Something like that.
A rookie ball? He'll probably make the majors this year. So, It depends on the position, how they're rated, how they're graded. A whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of different rating scales, Eric. So it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody above him is an 80. I would imagine with his size, and if he takes the next step, he'll go from 75 to probably top 10 in baseball this year.
Probably.
I would not be surprised if he goes all the way to top 10 prospects in baseball. Wouldn't be
Jackson
surprised.
Holiday is in AAA.
He's in AAA now.
He's in AAA.
He's already rocketed up.
And in the top 100, he's the number 1 prospect in all of baseball.
Yep. Who's number 2?
Jackson Chourio of Milwaukee. He's in the majors, and he is 19.
Mm-hmm. Gary, what about Marcus Stroman? I mean, I'll give him this. He's durable, but I don't know if he's the right fit here. That I think is the problem, unfortunately, and I don't think he's a fit. He's got a little bit of an attitude. He was showing some bitterness when he was in New York last time, so I don't know if he's really high up on their priority list. I really don't know. I don't know. So give Snell. I mean, if you can get Snell, here's the other problem with Snell, and here's the problem with Hader. They're both attached to qualifying offers, so the Yankees are going to have to forfeit 2 draft picks and $1 million in international money. That's 20% of international money. Okay, they have to give up 20% this year already because they signed Rodon last year, who was attached to a qualifying offer. They're paying for it this year. If they sign one of these guys, they're going to have to pay for it next year. And if people are holding out hope of Roki Sasaki, this is not the way to do it. Get a guy like Snell or Hader, which would make it almost impossible to get a guy like Roki Sasaki as an amateur. So there's really not an easy way out here for the Yankees. But there are other guys that the Yankees could get aside from Snell and Montgomery and so on. It really depends on what you want, right? Snell's going to put him over the threshold. So is Montgomery. So is Bieber. And again, like, what's worth the move right at this point? What's worth the move? And it's up to the Yankees to decide what they feel is the worthwhile move.
Honestly, right now, I couldn't care less about any of those free agent pitchers, honestly, at this point in the game. And the reason why I say that is because I'm now looking for young pitching with controllable years.
Yeah.
And the Marlins and the Mariners and the Giants have what we want. And we have what the Giants want, and the Marlins want, and the Mariners want, which are bats. We need young, controllable pitching. Forget about Dylan Cease. I see Cease going to Baltimore or Philly, and I told you this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about Dylan Cease. That's a pipe dream right now at this point. The Orioles have been it's already been said by SI.com that the Orioles are the favorites to land Dylan Cease. That's a pipe dream. Let's not go there. Let's worry about making the call to Miami or Seattle and saying, what is it going to take for us to get some of your young pitching to New York? That's what we need to worry about right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's who has the most value. I mean, if the Yankees' objective is to stay under the Cohen threshold and get better, then a trade is the way to go, right? Even Corbin Burns, he's in his last year of arbitration. He's going to cost like probably $20 million, $25 million. Burns.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. What's his projected arbitration figure? It's probably
I'm going to tell you right now. Corbin Burns projected.
People are saying Trevor Bauer. I mean, here's the thing with Trevor Bauer, okay? I like him, and yes, he's been cleared criminally, but he brings the drama too. He brings drama, and it could be a distraction from what the Yankees are trying to build. I'm not saying, and somebody said he's a sex addict. He's not a pedophile. Wander Franco is, we know he's a pedophile, okay? Like, Trevor Bauer is not any of that stuff, but he brings drama and all that stuff. So while he's got a big arm, he was an ace pitcher 3 years ago. He hasn't been that since then. But he does bring baggage with him, and is that something that the Yankees want to do is the question. So, and that's the thing.
So, in an answer to your question, he's looking roughly around $16 million for his last arbitration year.
All right. That's also going to put him over Cohen.
So he's in his third year of arbitration, which means he walks after this year.
Yep.
And I can almost guarantee you, with how pitchers have been getting paid this offseason, he's going to want to get paid, and rightfully so. He is, give me 1 second here.
29, I think.
He is 29.
Yep.
Give me 1 second. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns is a three-time All-Star, an All-MLB first team, an NL Cy Young Award winner, an NL ERA leader, an NL strikeout leader, and pitched a combined no-hitter on September 11th, 2021. He also has MLB records for the most consecutive strikeouts in a game, tied with Tom Seaver and Aaron Nola. He also has the most consecutive strikeouts without issuing a walk to start a season. So he's going to want to get paid, and he will get paid. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, I could see him making $30 million a year easily. He has a good year.
Easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's by far one of the best pitchers in baseball. But on a rental, I'm not giving up some big name unless I am extending him and he is open to an extension. If not, they are not getting a big name from me.
Yep. And, speaking of big names, like, going back to Trevor Bauer too, like, I don't want to do anything that's going to disrupt what the Yankees are trying to build here. Right? Good chemistry, good cohesion. Trevor Bauer brings back, and he's a big arm, yes, no doubt about it. But again, is it worth that type of distraction?
No.
I don't. And and JD wants to know where Steve Cohen. I have no idea where Steve Cohen is. Again, and this is crazy because, the Yankees have been one of the busiest teams in the offseason, but people don't think they're doing anything. So because they're, waiting for the big move, and we've been fed this Yamamoto thing for months now. Okay. Yamamoto isn't the only guy that's available. Okay. He's not the only, he hasn't even thrown a pitch in the majors. So, yeah, he was young. He's a formidable player. Sure. But not the end of the world that we didn't get him. Okay. So, and the Yankees roster's at 40. We were talking about this earlier too. They will have to make moves. They're going to move pitchers off the 40 man. Okay, they've got some other moves to clear. And anytime if they acquire one of these pitchers, let's say from Cabrera from the Marlins or Cabrera and Nardi, that's 2 roster spots they need to clear. So any pitching addition they make, they're going to have to make a corresponding roster move off the 40. So they are not by any stretch of the imagination done. So
do you mind if I go over the transaction so we can make this clear for everyone?
Go ahead.
Okay. December 5th. The Red Sox traded Alex Verdugo, left fielder, to the Yankees for Greg Weissert, Richard Fitz, Nicholas Judas. 24 to 48 hours later, the Yankees made a trade with the Padres to get left fielder Juan Soto and center fielder Trent Grisham. The Yankees sent right-handed pitcher Michael King, catcher Kyle Higashioka, right-handed pitcher Randy Vasquez, right-handed pitcher Johnny Brito, and right-handed pitcher Drew Thorpe into San Diego in that deal for Grisham and Soto. So that's 3 left-handed bats. They wanted 2, they got 3. Okay? Then, after the Dodgers signed Yamamoto, or after the Dodgers got Ohtani before they got Yamamoto, the Dodgers traded left-handed pitcher Victor Gonzalez. So there's another pitcher coming back to us, and second baseman Jorbert Vivas to us in exchange for shortstop Trey Sweeney. The Yankees then traded Billy McKinney to the Pittsburgh Pirates for cash. They signed free agent Justin Capellan, and the same day they got outfield Yael Zapata on a minor league deal. They claimed Jeter Downs off of waivers. They signed free agent outfielder Luis Gonzalez to a minor league contract. On the 26th, They traded Estevan Florial to the Guardians for Cody Morris. This year, they claimed outfielder Bubba Thompson off of waivers from Cincinnati and signed right-handed pitcher Cody Poteet. I'm getting to the point here soon. The Dodgers signed Jason Hayward. He's probably not going to start because they're still in need of a corner outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers signed center fielder Lolo Sanchez. Okay. On the 11th, the Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani. They signed Joe Kelly. They activated Miguel Vargas. So they're taking up roster spots. Then the Dodgers on the 15th traded for center fielder Manuel Margot, so still no corner outfielder, and right-handed pitcher Tyler Glasnow, whose arm is made of glass. Then they traded Ryan Pepio, an outfielder. They also traded Ryan Pepio and outfielder Johnny DeLuca to Tampa in that trade. On the 27th, they signed free agent Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And then this year, they traded Brian Hudson to the Milwaukee Brewers for left-handed pitcher Justin Chambers. So you see the trend there, right? With the Dodgers, they've only worked on pitching. They have not worked on their other needs. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. You and I went over this earlier. So for anyone who thinks that the Dodgers have had a better offseason than the Yankees, they have not. They still need two corner outfielders because Jason Hayward is not going to play every day. Let's be real here. You're not going to have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman play every day because they're getting older. So you're going to need to give them a day off or a half a day off, while the Yankees have quietly and consistently made moves after Verdugo and Soto and Grisham to get pitchers, which was a need. They needed some bullpen help, so they got bullpen help. They needed two left-handed bats. They got three left-handed bats. And one of those left-handed bats jumped our run saved by a +9. Now it's Verdugo. So they have quietly yet strategically and creatively improved this team. So I don't want to hear that the Dodgers have had a better offseason because they haven't. They still need a closer. They still need more bullpen help because that bullpen's a hot mess. And they still need two corner outfielders because you can't expect Manuel Margot to play left field. They're going to put him in center. And you can't expect Jason Hayward to play the corner outfielders because he's injury prone. So I just wanted to put that out there because I hear a lot of people saying that the Dodgers, they've had a better offseason. They're going to go to the World. No, that doesn't guarantee. Just because you spend $1 billion+ doesn't mean you're going to the World Series. That doesn't guarantee you anything.
They got to get past the Phillies. They got to get past some of the other teams, Diamondbacks. So, and like Tyler Talbot doesn't think we've done anything. They have. I mean, they've added two relievers with 3 controllable years each. Okay, so again, added to the bullpen, and it makes it easier for them to move guys like Johnny Loizaga, Tommy Kahnle, who make $4 or $5 million each. So, and if they free up more money, then they can add that towards starting pitching. They can add that towards a bench piece. So they've done some things on the pitching side. They haven't done the big moves yet, but again, who's going to do these massive overpays? Nobody.
And I'm glad Cashman is holding his ground and saying, no, we are not giving you A, B, and C for A on a 2-year. No, that's not worth it. If you were giving me a guy like a Yuri Perez who's going to give me 6 years plus an Edward Cabrera or a Braxton Garrett who's going to give me another 4 or 5 years of control, maybe we can talk about that.
Aiden, I mean, it's probably going to be Trevino because Garrett Cole's going to pitch opening day. So I'm guessing it's going to be Trevino, but we'll see. I'm fine with either one catching on opening day. That's not really a concern for me. And yes, Dennis, no, the gaping hole in the rotation has not been fixed. We're pissed. I understand that. But again, they're not going to massively overpay for guys that aren't worth an overpay.
There's no need to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Snell hasn't been signed yet by anybody. Montgomery hasn't been signed by anybody. Burns hasn't been traded by any there's a reason
Hader
why.
hasn't been signed
Yeah, Bieber. There's
because they're
one reason.
looking for massive overpays that they're not going to get.
Yeah, and
And
they're
I
not
and I get it. I
good.
get it. Snell won the Cy Young. I get it. Great. Well, so did Cole. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But Snell is not Garrett Cole, who is throwing 98 plus every game and going 8 innings. He's throwing 93 to 95, going 5 innings. He's not getting an overpay. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be real here. We gotta come back to reality at some point. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's represented by Boris, and Boris is gonna make the case. He won the Cy Young. He's this, he's that. I get that. But at
Sure.
the same time, you have to understand that he is not Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is a bulldog. Garrett Cole will pitch you 9 innings every game if he could.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Snell has only pitched 180 innings once, and that was last year.
Yep.
He's never gone more than that. And as for the Dodgers and Tyler Glasnow, I don't know why you would give him a $135 million in total with the contract now and the extension. Why you would give him a $110 million extension, because that's another overpay on a guy who can't even stay healthy.
Yeah.
You don't even know if he's going to be around for the full season.
Yeah, exactly. And Michael, I mean, we don't know if Cashman's on the phone. I'm guessing he probably is because he's on the
I'm
phone
sure
right
he
now.
is.
We don't know. The problem is they're not going to leak this type of information to us, nor
No,
should they. So,
because they want to keep their hand as close to the vest as possible.
oh
They
yeah,
are not trying to give anything away.
yeah.
They're trying to make it so that everyone else has to wonder, well, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Mhm.
That's why I always say they keep it locked up tighter than Fort Knox.
Yeah. Yes, they do, and rightfully so, because then you have people come up with these conspiracy theories. So, and it runs wildfire sometimes. So, we don't know if Verdugo Grisham's got 2 years left, so he's not afraid until 2026. Verdugo, I think they're going to stay. He's going to stay this year. Again, both of these guys significantly improved the outfield defense. They're both contact hitters, so that's why we keep them, JJ. We've improved our outfield defense. We've improved our bench players. So there's multiple improvements here, JJ. This is essentially why you keep them. What's the point of
This
trading?
is this is the deepest. This is the deepest we've been on this bench in God knows how long.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Sure.
this is how long. When was the last time we were this deep on the bench?
I can't remember.
I would
I
say
really,
maybe '09,
yeah, I would say
maybe a
oh
little
no.
earlier than that, but '09 the latest.
No, after that, tried David JC. That's right. Don't forget Oscar Gonzalez. They did claim. You're right. They
Yep,
did claim Oscar Gonzalez off
yep.
waivers from the
We did get
Guardians.
Oscar.
So that's
Well done.
another outfielder with a cannon for an arm.
So
So
they've
more.
gotten much better on the bench. They've gotten Grisham, who is a defensive whiz, because I don't know if anyone's seen him play or seen the plays that he's made. I fortunately have gotten to see it. Um, and I mean, some of the plays that he makes are unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he is a defensive upgrade for late innings. You got Verdugo, who had +9 in runs saved. You've got Soto, who's not a great defensive player, but he can play defense when he needs to, and he can hit you 35, 40 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
So the Yankees, to me, have had the better offseason. I don't care the Dodgers got Yamamoto and Otani. Great, whoop-de-do.
Good for them.
What else have they done? What are they doing to improve everything else? Because they have not done a single thing to improve anything else but their starting pitching.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that bullpen is a mess. My thing is, you've got Bruce Star Gratterall, right?
Gratterall.
Dodgers have Gratterall. Who's the bridge to Gratterall?
Don't know.
Other than maybe Joe Kelly, but who's the bridge to Kelly to get to that bridge to Gratterall?
No idea.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
Dustin May's
So,
coming off surgery. Walker Bueller's coming off surgery. Like
yep.
these guys are all coming off Tommy John. So they have a patchwork rotation at this point. And Otani's not even going to pitch this year at all.
Otani just got his second Tommy John.
Yeah. So like it's
They're shooting themselves in the foot even more. Every single move they make that does not fill in those holes that they have, they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And I get called crazy for it all the time. You're like, I've been told, oh yeah, you're nuts for saying that they should. They deferred money. Deferred money or not, $700 million is $700 million. They have to pay this man for 20 years.
Yep.
Let's get that clear now. For 20 years, they got to pay him $2 million for the first 10, 68 for the last 10. That's insanity.
No, this is true. Then we got Yanks for Life is saying the Yankees should sign Adam Kolarek. He was DFA'd by the.
I heard about that.
All right, let me pull him up here. Kolarek. Here we go. He's a
left-hander.
Left-handed pitcher. Perfect. Let's see.
I can tell you his stats. I'm bringing him up now, Jason. He's a left-hander. He's not a free agent until 27, so we have 3 years of team control.
34 years old.
Pick him up. He's 34 years old. He's a little older. I get that. But him not being a free agent until 27 is nice.
Yeah, controllable years on the cheap. So,
and I've mentioned this on several occasions, and you've heard me mention it, but why are we not looking at Hector Neris? Hector Neris would be a fantastic fit for this bullpen. He is 34. He was the Astros' best reliever last year. And if the Astros lose Hector Neris, that bullpen goes to shambles because you don't know how Ryan Stanek, if he's going to be back.
Yep.
You don't know if any of their other arms are going to even be remotely as good as they were. Ryan Presley can be streaky. So you take Hector Neris from Houston, and you just completely cause an implode on that bullpen.
Yeah, he'll be a valuable piece. And then Snow, this is, what's funny? I'm not saying you, but so many fans, like I was saying, the Yankees need to get offense and pitching, right, for months, and they were like, they don't need damn pitching, just bats. And then so many of those same people now are pissed off that they haven't gotten the pitching that we said they needed when they said they just needed bats. So I'm not saying you, then Snow. It's just kind of funny. But when you say fans will be angry until the rotation, what is your version of being fixed? And why do you? What do you think the Yankees? What do you think would fix the Yankees rotation?
That's a great question. But here's Neris' stats if you want to hear what they were from last year. He had a 2.5 WAR, wins above replacement. He had a 6-3 record, a 1.71 ERA in 71 games with 2 saves and 68 1/3 innings pitched with 77 strikeouts, a 1.05 WHIP, and where are we here? And he only walked 31 guys the entire season. That's about as consistent for a 34-year-old as you're going to get.
Yeah. CeeLo is Rodon really healthy, and is it a 2 or 3? Rodon's probably a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And what we're hearing right now, CeeLo, is that he's healthy, but he's got to come back in the season in better shape too. So
absolutely,
we'll believe it when we see it. We got to honestly, we have to see it. So otherwise, he's going to have the same hell, It's Ryan saying he's a free agent. Yeah, Fujinami was clocked out over 102. Fujinami. Is he a free agent too, Fujinami? The only one
Fujinami.
Is this? I mean, some people are saying Splash. There's that Cashman will make, but I don't know. I mean, are they willing to forfeit the draft picks and the international money? I don't know. Is Snell worth?
No, Fujinami is not a free agent. He is not a free agent until 29. He is 29 years old, and he was not great.
Okay, so throwing hard doesn't necessarily make you great, just like Roki Sasaki. Throwing hard doesn't, Yes, we traded 7 pitchers for Verdugo and Soto and Grisham. I don't like to forget Grisham.
Yep.
Again, the pitchers we gave up were they all major league pitchers? Well, with the
No,
exception of one. Fitz was a minor leaguer.
the only
Weiser was
one, the only
Fitz, right?
two, no, the only three that were minor leaguers were Judas,
No, Judas.
um,
Fitz.
Fitz, and Thorpe.
Oh, Thorpe. That's right, Thorpe. Yeah, and Thorpe was rated below Warren. He was rated below Hampton. He's rated below, Lelaney. So, I'm okay with them giving that. I'm okay with
Absolutely.
that. And they're already slowly. They've already replenished some of the bullpen guys, right? Cody Morris
Yep.
and guy from the Dodgers, Gonzalez. So
Victor Gonzalez.
yeah,
He's going to be good. He's a
yeah,
big left-handed pitcher, and I'm a fan of that move.
yeah. I mean, we got one lefty, one righty to add to the bullpen. And do I think they're going to add one more? Yeah, probably.
I think they're also getting another starter.
So do I.
I don't see the Yankees making a move for Verdugo and Soto and then call that it. I don't see that. I can't. Just does not click with me. If the Yankees do that, then there's something wrong. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will get another starter. I think they will find a way to fix that rotation and plug that hole too. But I don't see them making the moves for Soto and Verdugo and not be serious about winning this year.
Yeah, exactly. Theoretically, if you can get him for the right price, I would do it. But I'm not giving up Spencer Jones. I'm not giving
up Jason Dominguez.
I'm not giving up Dominguez or Chase Hampton. You can get them for just bats, not named Dominguez or not named Jones, then I'm all for it. But
the only person I would have given up Jones for was Soto, but we got him, and we didn't even have to give up Jones.
Yeah, exactly. If the Mariners they are active, Michael. Yankees should ask the cost for Castillo. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. So, but again, and this is kind of, I mean, we don't know right now because you know why? Because I don't know if you were here earlier. Willing to go over the Cohen threshold. The reporting said tonight that Hal gave them the green light to go over the Cohen threshold today. So we'll believe it when we see it. But the reporting said tonight.
That's a nice sign.
Yeah, it's a good sign that Hal gave them the green light to go over the Cohen threshold. So, where's Sebi? Sebi signed with the Mets, CeeLo. Sebi signed with the Mets. So did Harrison Bader. So did Carlos Mendoza. He's their Mets manager. So Sebi's now a New York Met. And Dodgers are trying to buy a championship as in that 29 Yankees. Maybe they are.
Maybe they are, but
the Yankees had a special group then.
Maybe they are, but I can tell you now it ain't working. Because I said before, they have way too many problems that they haven't touched on. Mm-hmm. The corner outfielders especially. Because do you expect Mookie Betts to play 150 games out in right field?
Mm-hmm. And they've already said Mookie Betts is going to be the second baseman. So
you still have a corner outfield problem, even with Mookie Betts moving to second.
Yep. Aiden Urias.
It's a lost cause.
He was arrested a second time for domestic abuse, so I steer clear of Julio Urias. I steal far away from him. So, but again, where does Jones play if Dominguez, Soto, and Judge now? And Dominguez is not going to block Spencer Jones, CWA.
No.
I'll tell you that now. He's not going to block Spencer Jones.
He's not blocked.
They'll make room for him.
They'll make room for him because they think very highly of him. And from everything that I've been hearing and all the video I've seen of him, the Yankees will and do want to keep him. I haven't heard anything different. The Yankees are his ceiling is through the roof. And the other thing is, with Spencer Jones, is the kid is 6'6" and he stole 43 bags last year. I don't care if it was in Double-A. I don't care if it was in Triple-A. I don't care if it was in rookie ball. You steal 43 bags at 6'6". That's a very impressive feat.
Yeah. Yes, they did, Robbie. They hired a new assistant hitting coach yesterday. Yes, they did. We did a video on that last night. So they added some experience to their coaching staff. So, and he's got experience. He was a Mets hitting coach when the Mets won the World Series in 2015. He was also in player development with the Yankees before that. So he brings another, experienced coach to the Yankees stable. So, and he's got very familiar with James Rosen too. So it was a good sign. Good sign for the Yankees. Now,
Hey, Jason.
Mike,
Uh,
go ahead, man.
FL Diver JC said something about Jones. Can you pull that up?
Diver JC
It's like the second. It said Spencer or Jones is a special talent. That's what the comment was. You see it?
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, that one. That right there is about as factual as you're going to get.
Yep. There it is, Joe. Why is this thing disappearing? Yankees should sign Jacob.
You cannot trade that.
No, you don't trade that. Yanks for Life is saying the Yankees should try sign Jacob Junis. He's a free agent this winter. 387 ERAs with the Giants. Add him to AAA. He's a free agent right now.
Oh, look. Jacob Junis.
If you sign him to a minor league deal, then he won't be on the 40 man. So exactly, Jonathan. It's not open panel tonight. Yeah.
All right. So Jacob Junis is a right-handed pitcher. He's 31. He is a free agent, and he's 6'3", 220 pounds. Last year, he had a 4-3 record with a .8 WHIP, 3.87 ERA. 4 games started and 40 games pitched, 1 save, 86 innings pitched, 96 strikeouts, a 1.29 WHIP, and for walks,
good strikeout numbers.
He only walked 21.
That's a good strikeout walk rate.
That might be worth.
It's where might be on a minor league deal.
On a minor league deal, I might take a chance with that.
That's a good one.
On that.
That's a good one, Yanks for Life, for sharing that.
Good job, Yanks for Life. That's a very, very good call.
William, why do you believe in Rice more than Jones? Just out of curiosity. And I believe in both of them, but why one over the other? Just out of curiosity. Yankees clubhouse is going to be fantastic. CeeLo, 100%. Yeah, Paul Skeens not going anywhere, Aiden. He's the number 1 pick out of LSU for the Pirates. They're not going to trade him. They're not trading him. No. Paul Skeens is highly rated as it gets. Like Jackson Holliday, number 1 offensive. He's the number 1 pitching.
So he answers your question, William, and the answer he gave was just by the highlights I've seen.
That's why you trust him? Okay. I'm not taking anything away from Ben Rice. He's good. If he was, what's he ranked in the Yankees prospects? Let's pull him up here.
Ben Rice? I got you.
Spencer Jones is number 1. So
there's a reason why he's number 1 and Jason is number 2. Just putting that out there.
Dominguez
Ben Rice is our number 21 prospect.
Number 21. So, it's good that he's on the top 30, but in my opinion, you got a little bit of ways to go if you want to surpass Spencer Jones.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, yes, we just talked about that too. The Yankees added the assistant hitting coach last night, so added some more much needed experience to this coaching staff. So I think it's a good move. Underrated, but good. And this is why I put out all these things. It's why Mikey Maz puts out all these things, because we want you to know all the little things that are going on too, not only the big things, because he gives us a more thorough understanding of what's going on in the Yankees world.
We want you to understand why there are certain moves that are very questionable and why there are certain moves that are not just underrated, but very sneaky moves and why they can be very beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So if we wake up tomorrow and we see, for example, that the Yankees made a deal with Seattle to get, a Munoz, why that, or even a Kyle Harrison, why that would be a good move and why it's an underrated move because they're not their names. So a kid like Kyle Harrison, his name is not out there yet. He hasn't pitched in the majors long enough for people
Mm-hmm.
to know him, but it's a sneaky good move because he is a 22-year-old left-handed pitcher with 6 years of control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see here. Yeah, looks like Shane Bieber presents itself as a logical fit for the Yankees in a trade. Um, I don't know if that would be the big move. It would probably have to be Bieber and somebody else, um, and a Cabrera or a Bryce Miller or something like that. If you can get Bryce Miller for Torres, Diver JC, I would do that.
What is it? Bryce Miller for Torres? Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I would even, I would even do Brian Wu or so the four starters I would look at if I'm the Yankees from Seattle are Logan Gilbert,
Mm-hmm.
um, what's his name? George Kirby,
Kirby.
Bryce Miller, Brian Wu. Those would be the four starters I would look at. I would ask about Castillo. The only problem is they're going to want the same return that they got back for what they gave up. So
Which
probably that's probably going to be a hard no for me.
yeah.
And for relievers, you've got to ask for Munoz and see what it takes to
Mhm.
get him here because the kid, if you want a bigger picture of him, um, I'll pull up his grades. All right, so this is what he was graded at by Baseball America. It's a true 80 grade fastball, dominates and throw it more than 2/3 of the time with a 81 to 83 mile an hour slider. If you want to go into it deeper, I'd have to look it up, but I could probably find it for you and let you know. But when you've got an 80 grade fastball, that's already enough to say, well, maybe it's worth taking a look at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jonathan wants to know what trade do you think is most likely. I'm going to say it again: either a Marlins trade or a Mariners trade for one of these
Yep,
young controllable arms. Uh, I don't see any other move that's more sensible than either one of those at this
I
point.
agree with that.
So, you know, yeah, I agree. And I do think Barrow gets a shot, but that's not going to be in the Yankees. I do
No,
think Barrow deserves a shot at the major leagues, but it's not the right fit right now at the Yankees, unfortunately. So, um, yeah, exactly. I'm not giving away the farm for Cease. I'm not giving away the farm for any of these
it's not worth
guys.
it. It's really not worth it.
No, exactly. Specific with that trade, Jonathan. Like we've said, for Edward Cabrera, let's say an Everson Pereira and an Oswald Peraza for an Edward Cabrera. If you want to expand on that, we can add a Yoendris Gomez or add somebody like that, and then you can. But we'd want a reliever back on top of Edward Cabrera, right? So, like an Andrew Nardi or an AJ Puck, right? Lefty relievers with controllable years. Or if you pivot to the Mariners, Bryce Miller. Somebody just proposed Torres for Miller. I'd do that. George Kirby would cost more, and you probably have to give I don't know, Pereira, Raza, Cabrera. You probably have to give 3 or 4 bats for Kirby, and probably 2 to
Which
3
I'd
bats.
be okay with because you're getting
Yeah,
a starter.
yeah. And again, like those are the types of guys we'd move for these controllable pitchers, Jonathan. And again, the reason why we say the Marlins and the Mariners because they represent teams that have arms that just happen to need bats. and we've got a lot of bats, and we generally don't have to give up our arms. The only trades it sounds as if we have to give up arms for would be for Cease and for Corbin Burns. So, and that thing again, yes, and Uncle Ted, the Mariners are desperate for slugging. They need infield players. The Yankees have tons of infield players. They are super deep in infield, so it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Now I haven't heard that the Mets first baseman Pete Alonso has asked for a trade. I've heard people saying about it, but I haven't heard him ask for it. I haven't heard his agent ask for it. Well, I think he's a Scott Boras client too. Well, I haven't heard Alonso ask for a trade yet. Tanner Scott or Devin Williams. If you can get a Devin Williams, it's going to cost a bit, but Mike Clevenger could be an option on the back end, like as a secondary piece in free agency. Yeah, sure. George Kirby, yes, exactly, as a frontline starter. He's the type of guy that we would give up 3 or 4 bats for, right? George Kirby, some of these other guys, Bryce Miller, Wu, so Logan Gilbert. So, CeeLo, I don't think so, honestly. If we trade Torres, do I think DJ becomes? Because they've already told DJ he's going to be the third baseman. So
you might see Peraza at second.
If Peraza stays, then he'll probably be at second. If he gets moved, then you'll probably be Yorbit Vivas, who they just traded for with the Dodgers. So it'll be one of those guys to replace Torres at second. So I think so, right? So it's Maz is on duty, JJ. Man, he's guarding the fort, man. He's guarding the fort, baby. Scott Boras. CeeLo, really not. There's not many people that Scott Boras doesn't manage. So he's got much of the farm. He really does. Like you go into the ocean, he has most of the damn fish. So you get another agent might get a little bit of the plankton, but he's got all the sharks. He's got everybody who wants to make money goes to Scott Boras. So and I mean he's got Juan Soto. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets Spencer Jones, Dominguez. I wouldn't be surprised at all. In all honesty. But yes, Lotus, exactly. We can't count on Rodon and Cortez, which is why we know and the Yankees know that they're going to get prospect. They're going to get pitching back. And again, there are 6 weeks left of the offseason. The Yankees are not done. They're not done. We will add pitching.
They're far from done.
Yeah. Tyler Talbot saying, Alonso's a free agent after 2024. So, I mean, Michael, I wouldn't trade Vivas. He could be a trade piece, but I mean, he's got a better contact bat than Peraza does. So, there are reasons to keep Peraza. There are reasons to keep Vivas. So Vivas also plays shortstop and third base too, so he could be a hybrid all across the infield. He's got a better bat than Osvaldo Cabrera. So, what do we got? One like away from 200. Hit that thumbs up, gang. If we haven't hit the thumbs up yet, thank you so much for it. And we got 5 new subscribers. Welcome to you. Appreciate all these. Welcome to the 161. 5 new subscribers in the live stream. Works. Yeah, Peraza does work. He's got an elite glove. There's no doubt about that. Vivas has a better bat. So they have their strength. They both have their strengths. So, William, I don't know if Minaga is going to be let down. I have no idea. It depends on where he goes. Yamamoto could be a letdown for all we know. I don't know. I have no idea.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Exactly. So there's nothing guaranteed here. But this is also why we propose these different trades because, there's so much. It's got to be Dylan Cease. It's got to be Burns. It's got to be Snell. It's got to be. There are a lot of other arms out there. And they're worth looking into. A lot of these young pitchers from the Marlins and the Mariners are worth looking into. They're all on the block. Teams are listening to offers on them, so they're definitely worth it. We got 210 likes. I appreciate you, gang. Thank you so much, gang. Much appreciated. The Marlins wanted Torres. Yes. Well, the Marlins have wanted Torres for the last couple of years, every year, FG. But again, I don't know if Kim Ng changes that trajectory now, that calculus, because she's not there anymore. But they still are interested in Torres. But they might want Torres and more bats, and that's fine. So
I think we got to wait and see, though, only because if they do want Torres, that may make it easier to get some pitching that we would want without having to give up more than what it would be if we didn't give up Torres. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, we wanted an Edward Cabrera, for example, and they wanted Torres. We could do something like Torres and Pereira, and maybe a very low level prospect, and that might get it done. Unlike if you weren't including Torres, then you would have to include more to get that deal done. So I think so you got a point there that it really all depends if they're still interested in Torres or not.
I get the logic about Bauer. Why take a chance? Why not take a chance? I get it, but the drama that he brings could be a distraction for what the Yankees. I mean, if he's the reason that the Yankees are not going to re-sign Juan Soto, that's a problem, right? So I'm not sure if it's worth the baggage. He's got a big arm, but we can get a big arm from someone else. We have guys on our team right now that have big arms, so we could be comparable to Bauer without the drama. So, and he's been criminally charged. That's for sure. But he still brings a lot of other drama here, and I don't know if they need that. I don't know if
no, because we don't need that because we just got finished unloading that drama with Hicks and Donaldson. And we don't need more of that same drama because that's what's going to hurt us. So
yeah, Benji, why hasn't Monty signed it? Because he's represented by Scott Boras, and his market's limited. So is Snell's. This is why you're hearing a lot of Snell to the Yankees, a lot of Monty back to the Rangers. Boras is trying to get the Rangers involved, trying to get the Yankees involved to drive up their prices. This is nothing new.
This is nothing new. This this is why everybody goes to Scott Boras.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody nobody does it
because Boras is the one who.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Boras says, "Hey, I got a guy. You want him?
Yeah.
You want him? Cool. Why don't you two have a little bidding war over him and see how far you can drive the price?" And then someone else will come in and be like, "Oh, you want him too? Cool. Why don't you join in on this bidding war?" And that's how he makes his money, because he makes 5% commission off of every single deal that his client gets.
Yep.
So if a client gets $30 million a year, for example, like what Garrett Cole got, you're looking what, 5 to 10 million or something, or not 10 million.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, 324 million, 32.4% is 10%. I mean, 32.4 million. You have that. Boras made 16.2 million off Garrett Cole's contract.
That's how he makes his money.
And he makes 50 to 60, sometimes more than that, $1 million per year. He makes more than most of the players do. So
which is
he's the Jedi Master. He's a freaking Jedi Master. No wonder people want him.
He's a shark. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's really, and again, he represents Montgomery. He represents Snell. He represents Josh Hader. He represents Matt Chapman. He represents Cody Bellinger. He represents all 5 of these guys.
Why do you think Cody Bellinger hasn't signed?
Exactly.
Scott Boras has come out and said he wants a $200 million contract or more for north of 8 years. No one's going to give him that. No one is that insane.
Yeah, and to your point, JJ, I don't think Snell gets 200, but I don't think he's going to be that far off. So
I see Snell getting 190 at most.
Yeah, I can see him getting close to that.
And I can see Monty getting 175, maybe 180 at most, but I wouldn't go higher than that.
Yeah, and I don't think Bellinger's going to get $200 million from the Cubs either, William. I don't think that's going
No,
to happen.
that's not going to happen. You know who I'm
No.
surprised hasn't gone after him is the Blue Jays. You would have
Yeah,
thought
me
they
too.
would have pivoted.
I mean, dude, they offered Otani $675 million, and the only things that they've done after that are bring back IKF, or bring in IKF, and bring back Kevin Kiermaier. That's all they've done.
You know what's
So
crazy?
go ahead.
Is the Giants offered the same exact deal that the Dodgers offered Otani, and he took the one from the Dodgers.
Yeah, yeah, true. Again, and I know people are saying, "Well, San Francisco's a dirty city. Nobody wants to live there." I mean, you can move. You don't have to live in San Francisco. How many Yankee players live in the Bronx? None of them. None of them live in the Bronx. So none of them live on Grand Concourse. So it's just they don't have to live in the city that they play in. And these guys are so rich that they can get a mansion nearby, and it's not going to be missing a beat for these guys. So, would I sign Turner to play third and first? Justin Turner, I would not. We don't need him. We got Rizzo at first.
We don't have a place for him.
Yeah, we got DJ at third, and Tyler Hardman are one of our top offensive prospects, who's already up in Double A or Triple A. He plays third and first as well. So if we want a good bat, I'd go with Tyler Hardman instead of paying $10 million a year for Justin Turner. So most Yankee fans live well. So I know some Yankees live in Manhattan, JJ. Yankee fans live all over the place, man. It's freaking global, baby. But yeah, Seal, I mean, they don't live in the BX, man. The Yankees players don't live in the Boogie Down. So it's just, it is what it is. That's okay. Would I sign Josh Hader? Not before bringing in starting pitching, Benji. Starting pitching first.
I wouldn't even sign him, even after we, even after.
And he wants to break Edwin Diaz's saves record. So, I mean, his contract record. So he's going to want at least $21 million a year. So that's a lot of money.
And I don't see him getting that.
Yeah.
I don't see him getting that after what he pulled in San Diego, especially in a walkie. You don't tell your manager to pretty much go fuck himself. He's not getting a 4-out save from you.
Exactly. I mean, Yankee fan reporting from Texas. Shout out to Texas, Justin. Shout out to Texas. The Lone Star State. Got some of the Consiglietis in here. Clemenza, Billy Branch is in Texas. We got Texas Buckeye.
Where is Texas Buckeye?
He's been around. Sunil. We've got a lot of members of the 161 made men. They're all from Texas. They're all couple regimes. They're all made men.
Originally from New York, all over the place now.
That's right, baby. Right. That's right. Boone says hated to close again. Yeah, I mean, that's not gonna fly here. Like I said, people know this, and Hader will get eaten alive here in New York. And Jabba Chamberlain, we talked to Jabba a couple of days ago. He said the same thing.
Twice we talked to him, and he said the same exact thing. He says, "I like Hader. I like Josh. He'd get eaten alive out in New York."
Yes.
And he even said it wasn't a good fit.
Yep. Yeah, to your point too, Michael. Yeah, Matt Moore, Phil Maton, and Hector Neris. There's a lot of good relievers there. Just because, and like I said, the same thing with starting pitcher. So many folks thought if you're not Yamamoto, then you're a dumpster dive. It's the same type of thing. So many folks are saying if you're not Hader, then you're a dumpster dive. There's a lot of good relievers out there. So a lot of good relievers out there. And when I signed Wandy and Wandy, maybe there's no fit for Gio. There's no need for Gio Urshela here. Wandy maybe pitcher from the Dodgers, who's basically Wandy on the cheap. So,
and if you guys have not seen those two interviews with Jabba, please go check them out. If they are under my channel, the 4-Train Express, if you do not know, I will get the link and I will put it into the chat if you're cool with that, Jason.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah, CeeLo, I don't think Snell would have a problem in New York. I don't think he's that. And he's part of Judge's foundation. Like he's boys with Judge. I don't think he'd have a problem in New York. I think he'd have a problem giving us the length that we need in innings.
Don't forget, Snell also pitched in the American League East.
And he won a Cy Young Award in the American League East.
Yes,
too.
he did.
So Tampa. So, but again, this is why, like, and I don't know why the Yankees haven't done it yet. This is why long relief is so important. And we have guys here, converted starters like Nestor Cortez and Luis Hill, would be perfect candidates for long relief. I've said it like 1,000 times, and I'm going to keep saying it. Like, they're an important bridge between the rotation guys like Snell. If you can't give a consistent length, that's why you have a guy like Nestor Cortez who can come in and give them 4 innings. Like,
I
if
put
we
it
can
in
only
the chat with you and I.
okay,
So.
if I can only get 5 innings from Snell, then that's I would take another 4 innings from Nestor Cortez. All right, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put this in the comments, gang, right now. This is. Get back to the comments. There we go. This is our conversation, our interview with Jabba Chamberlain. I'm going to put the link here, and I'll put it up on screen. So if anybody wants to see it, you can go take a look at it. We talked directly, and Jabba's very down to earth. He gave us some very honest answers. So there it is. That's our interview with Jabba Chamberlain.
So that is the link to my channel, which you can also go to. Hit that link and then go to where the videos are, and it's there. And it was a fantastic conversation. I got to tell you, I think that was one of the coolest people I've ever interviewed before, and so down to earth. And he is so in tune with the game. The knowledge that he has is so valuable and so priceless. You can't beat that kind of information.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you interview him on Hector's channel as well?
I did. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think Soto stays too, William. I mean, who's going to sign him? Like, thank you for subscribing to the 4 Train, CeeLo. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for subscribing to 4 Train Express. And if you guys haven't signed, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the 4 Train Express, gang. Okay? A member of the 161 family, puts out great content. And again, if you want good, consistent Yankee information content, this channel and Mike's channel and even the Strike Zones channel are great places to go. Pinstripe Chronicles 2 Attacks, great place to go. Chris the Flash, great place to go. So Jabba seems more in the football. And well, maybe now, JJ, and his son, Carter, plays basketball and baseball. So, and he's got a shot at maybe going pro, going to college and stuff. So, he's definitely a proud dad when he talks about his son Carter.
Yeah.
And how excited he is to watch him play and all that stuff. So it's really cool listening to him talk about that.
He's a really cool dude, and if we have him on again, if that ever comes up, and you guys want to tune in, please do. I mean, like I said, the knowledge that he has is just so invaluable to everything that he knows, from inside the clubhouse to outside the clubhouse. So what goes on that field is so valuable, and it really gives you a bigger perspective on what actually goes on.
Yeah. Get some real life perspective and insight from a former player. And again, he did say if he comes on with us again, he'd bring his son on. So we'd love to meet him too and talk to him. And you're right, William. There's nothing better than being a dad. Mike's a dad. I'm a dad. So nothing better. It's a joy. It really is a joy.
Really
so
is.
Rio and John, Rio. He's available too, Rio. So as a free agent too. But I could see him. Even Jabba said, Roy, this current Yankee team is probably between 95 and 100 wins as it speaks right now. We're not even adding a pitcher.
Yeah.
So, and that was Jabba's personal opinion. So, And yeah, I think they're going to win a hell of a lot more games next year. I think he'll probably be between 90 and 95, my opinion. If they add a pitcher, then I think it'll be 95 to 100. So, Justin, congratulations in advance. Be about the first time dad. All right, man. Welcome to the club, brother.
Congrats, bro.
Club, man. Miles Mikolas from the Cards. We're on the division is the Orioles. Yeah, the Rays taking us. Yeah, well, the Rays are going to have lost Margot. They traded Margot, right? So
They just lost. They just traded Luke Raley to
Raley as
Seattle.
well to Seattle, and they lost Wander Franco. So they've lost a lot of pieces. Doesn't mean they won't be good, but
they're not going to be as strong as they've been in past years.
Yeah, I mean, I see the Orioles being formidable. I see them adding a pitcher. I really do. So we'll see, JJ. We don't know yet. And I think they'll win more than 92 games, but we'll see. We will see. But I hope you enjoyed this. I want to get those 4 trades out to you. Appreciate your feedback, everybody. I appreciate you coming on to Mazza. It's always a pleasure having you. You're welcome all the time. And Maz is going to have a stream tomorrow too to talk about more Yankee stuff. So if you're around, take a look at Maz's stream tomorrow on the 4 Train Express. So, and but thank you everybody for coming on. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay, football Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy your football team. I think a couple of games were tonight. Did the Pirates just?
Texans
Steelers
just clinched,
right?
Texans clinched.
The Houston Texans clinched.
Yes, they did.
And the Steelers, the Ravens, right?
I think so.
Wow, Houston Texans won 23-19 over the Colts.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. The Steelers won 17-10. They beat the Ravens. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I mean, Monday is Michigan versus Washington, the national championship football game. So
I want Michigan winning that.
Yeah.
Because my team got snubbed.
Yeah. My team got beat by Michigan, Alabama. So but I'm a Notre Dame guy. I had a cousin who played football in Notre Dame, so I'm partial to Notre Dame. But I like watching Alabama and Saban. But Notre Dame is my team.
Yeah.
So I could watch the movie Rudy every day. Every day. Yankees should sign Rio. Yeah, as a back end pitcher, yeah. Yeah, as a back end pitcher, I would consider Rio over Bauer at this point. And again, it's not to take anything else from Bauer, but I think Rio's probably a better fit here.
Yeah.
The character at this point matters, and I think it's important. So, and not to take anything away from Bauer, he did not do what Wander Franco did. He did not do what this girl accused him of. He was cleared criminally, but the drama that he would bring would probably be not a good fit here. So, but I hope he gets an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
I really do. So, but we'll see what happens, gang. But go enjoy your night. Thank you so much for coming on again, Maz. All the best to you. Peace and love to all of you. All right. If anything else comes out, Maz is going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. And if he's going to give it to you, we'll see you on the next time on the other side, people. Peace.
Deuces.
Deuces. Let's see.